Okay, everybody, so let's talk. It's been a minute since I've actually sat down and reviewed ReZero. I've been having a very hectic, busy life, and catching up with anime, usually when I get behind with it, makes it a struggle. But I caught up with everything 20 to 23. I watched all of that, so we're all up to date. Basically, the whole whale, the white whale, jurisdiction, they defeated the white whale, and Wilhelm is absolutely a badass. I love everything about Wilhelm. He's probably one of my favorite characters from the series. He's very respectful. He's very he has a lot of honor within him. He even made fun of the old styles of knights. We're saying chivalry's old and dead. I love Wilhelm. He did all of that for his wife, and the bond between him and his wife it was amazing. I loved it. I loved the bond. I loved what he did for her. You can see that he really did care for her, so I loved everything about it. I did. It was awesome. It was amazing. That's my little tidbit of 20 to 22, I think it was something like that. So that's my little tidbit into that. It was absolutely amazing, and I loved everything about it. Shout out to Wilhelm. Easily, if I made a top 5 favorite ReZero characters, which I think I might, he's easily one of my favorite characters from the series. I think he's amazing. He's a total badass. But getting on now to what happened in 23, this shit was absolutely crazy, right? It's gonna blow your fucking mind. If you haven't seen it, go see it, because this shit is crazy. I intentionally, drove myself to insanity with how this episode went off. So get this, right? Get this. So more along towards the beginning, you see Ram being a complete asshole. What the hell, Ram? I hate you. I don't know if anyone else is nuts about Ram. I'm really not nuts about Ram because she's just, from her aura, she comes off as an asshole, It's like, Jesus Christ, if only she could see how much Rem cares for him, she would know. But I don't hate her. I don't hate her because she's related to Rem and she doesn't act like Rem. I'm just not nuts about her, not fond of her, because she's a little annoying. She's Roswald's dick rider, if anything. Jesus Christ, she's just like, stop butting in, She looked at the wrong perspective of Subaru. She got a blank message, in this world, the blank message doesn't signify a sign for war. So it can mean you hate them, it can mean war. It literally means the absolute worst. What you think of this person. You don't want to talk to them, it can mean war, all of that. So crazy stuff going on. Not really too fond of Rem, at least how she acted. Honestly, I never really had a problem with Ram. Ram, I didn't really have a problem. She was more along there for me. She's kind of cute, but she was there for me. And in this episode, she was just straight up acting like an asshole. So I shouldn't say I don't like her overall. Within this episode, I wasn't mainly a huge fan of her. She was a little annoying. I didn't really like how she tried to kidnap him or some shit like that. She was zipping out, which I wasn't necessarily a fan of that. But hey, Ram is Ram. She gotta do what she gotta do. She does whatever she can for Roswald. She assumed that he got a different master and he's working for other people, and she kept repeating, I guess it's just how it feels when, the hand what you feed from the hand is you constantly bite it, or some quote like that. I can't remember what it was specifically, but it was like, take from the hand and you eventually bite it. Something like that. That's how it feels to get bitten by the hand that you feed them by. Something like that. There we go. Something like that. So not really too big fan of that. Julius, I'm gaining more and more respect towards him as this episode is going on. Episode 22 and 23 has really made me gain so much respect for Julius. He's fucking amazing, dude. At first, I didn't like him. He was kind of an arrogant asshole with an ego, and he beat the living crap out of Subaru. And everybody hates Subaru. I can't even think of anyone that even likes the character Subaru, but I wasn't too nuts about seeing him getting the crap beaten out of. I still have morals, and I wasn't also too nuts about how he was acting. He's acting like an arrogant asshole. He's got an ego and such like that, and I wasn't a fan of him. He beat the crap out of him simply because he didn't feel like he deserved to be there, and that the Subaru was just nobody. So annoying a little bit, but not so much of a fan of him. And more along towards the episodes of 22 and especially 23, I'm gaining more and more respect for him as this series goes on. He's becoming a nicer guy. He has more respect for Subaru. He apologizes well, but obviously doesn't want to befriend him because he's not too nuts about Subaru either. But since he is told to work on a Subaru, he will respect him as such. And he has been. And even though they both have clarified that they don't want to be friends after this, Subaru even clarified that he hates the living guts out of him. You can't blame him. They honestly are both becoming friends. I don't care what they say, they are becoming friends. They're becoming bros, niggas, because they're building a bond where they're gonna protect each other and fight for one true goal: to defeat the witch cult. God, man, I love Julius. I'm starting to like this boy now. He is cool as shit. So much respect gained towards Julius here, you know? And I guess he goes under his new alias, Julie. He goes under, this is just how he acts now, which I absolutely love him. I do. I love him so much. I think he is, oh my God. The swordsman in this episode, in the past few episodes of this arc, has really made me gain so much more respect for them. Same with Krush, how in episode like 20 and 21, she was talking about how she, even though she's gonna be Subaru's enemy, she will hold back. I think she said she will still fight to her fullest, I guess something like that, or will hold back. One of the two, can't really remember. And she also said that she will befriend him, she'll have respect for him, she will watch him as a friend, even though when they become enemies, but she doesn't see them becoming enemies at all. God, Krush, love you, man. She is amazing. Just so much respect, so much happiness within this arc, because everything seems like it's going well. Everything seems like it's running well. Everything seems like it's going good. Not a single problem, nothing getting in the way. We're looking good, right? Right? Wrong! More along towards the end, jump cut to the end. Subaru is taken over by Betelgeuse. Conti, long ass name, Akon long ass name. Basically, he's taken over by Betelgeuse. And I'm trying to find out, when did this happen? How did this happen? And I think there's only one plausible reason for this. I think the gospel is the thing that had Betelgeuse's spirit inside of it, and this allowed Betelgeuse to take over the host of whomever had this book, the gospel, and it seems like it was Subaru at the time, and he most definitely took it over. He took over his body. You know, I think that is the only logical reason on how Betelgeuse was able to take over the body of Subaru. I think this is the only way how this can be explained, because, you know, we saw his body die, even though, just to double check, little short furry guys, they, they cleared up Subaru's doubts, and they literally vanquished the body. They incinerated the body with their magic, and he was gone. He was completely gone, not an ash remaining of Betelgeuse, you know? He was sliced up by Wilhelm, and then incinerated by the two little furries. So yeah, the only plausible, logical reason on how Subaru had his body taken over must have been through the gospel, because they did say that the witches' words of wisdom, I guess you want to call it, are within this gospel. And you can see from everybody's reactions, nobody wanted to touch it, nobody wanted to look inside of it, nobody wanted to read it. And obviously Subaru couldn't read it, but even touching it is a sin. You know? And I feel like him holding this book so tightly and constantly using it against them has backfired on him. And this book himself had to have had the spirits from Betelgeuse, and this spirit then took hold of Subaru through magic. So I definitely think that is how it is, 100% facts. If anybody else had any other reasons on how this happened, by all means, make sure to leave it in the comment section down below. But I feel like this is 100% reasons on how it happened. Now, what upset me here is Emilia comes in, and none of the villagers believe Emilia, and it was so annoying, because sure, you have to think about it, racism even in her own world exists, so you can understand why they hate the shit out of Emilia. Sure, she isn't full elf, and sure, she's a half elf, but you have to understand, half elf, the witch is a half elf as well, or the whole elf line, so they're not nuts about anybody with the term half elf, and they're assuming that she has something to do with the witch because she's a half elf, and the witch is also a half elf. They said something about that earlier throughout this series. So you can see where the racism would come into this and why they wouldn't believe, listen, or trust Emilia at all. You know, it makes sense. It's stupid, but it makes sense in the reasoning because it's just pure racism. It doesn't make sense logically, but it makes sense in terms of why they would do it. It adds up. It's stupid, but hey, that's what the villagers think, okay? And what I thought was interesting and how they instantly caught on of Subaru's lie, and it makes sense on how they caught it on because Emilia went around the village trying to warn everybody that, witch cultists are coming, or a mob beast might come and destroy the village, so it's not safe. So she put on these protective crystals on these trees in the forest, so like a force field, so these mob beasts could not take over the village. But little did she know, it's not mob beasts, it actually ended up being the witch cultist. So it backfired in within her. She did come back though, and she did help the civilians. So I think maybe this opened up a different perspective to the villagers, and they saw maybe Emilia really isn't that bad, because you could see from the expression of them, they were a little shocked that she came back and she was capable of this power. Since they've never really seen her do this before, they were capable of what she could do. They did not expect this. They did not expect that she was this powerful, but I feel like this maybe made them realize, hey, our princess and our soon-to-be ruler is actually not that bad. Who cares if she's a half-elf? I think that maybe she's not that bad. It's a little stretch to look that deep into it, but you can see from their facial expressions, the aura of the midst of the fight and when it was over, that this is just what they were kind of feeling, you know? So it's not 100% fact guaranteed, but just from the looks of it and how they were, the eye gesture, body gesture, it looks like this is how they percepted Emilia now. As a not so bad person, maybe they probably still distrust her, but I feel like what they're most likely gonna do, or what they would have done, is Emilia would have gone into some deep words about how she will do whatever she can to protect him. She doesn't care what they think or stuff like that. And little did you know then that Subaru, more along towards the end, get his body taken over and possessed by Betelgeuse, I'm assuming through the gospel book. And this backfired because all of this hard work, I don't know where the last save state was. I think the last save state might actually be where he initially went to the beginning, where he had to get Krush to help him out with the white whales and the witch cultists. I think that might be the last save state, all right? Either that or the save state when he defeated the white whales. Because usually when something big and climactic happens, that's what the save state kind of resets it from what we've seen from this series, you know? So, or when something else bad happens afterwards and the last, finisher, the last successful, redone or redo, usually where the save state redos or resets. So, I'm not too sure where the save state is, but I'm assuming and I'm guessing, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong or right if you agree or what you guys think the save state is. I think maybe that the save state might be somewhere, along the lines of either A, before when he tried to get Krush, or B, after when they defeated the white whales, because it's more on towards the end. Respectfully, Julius and Fellis had to kill Subaru. So all of this hard work was gone to waste because his life is going to redo and reset now. And I think since he now knows that this book is more along the reason on how his body got possessed, I think what they're going to do is maybe just eradicate the book, maybe burn the book, maybe get rid of the book, maybe not touch the book, maybe not look into the book. Basically not anything to do with the book, since this is what made him get taken over, And it just seems like now that we're not really gonna know where the redo is, because we're along towards the end of the episode, how they ended it off is Julius and Phyllis killing Subaru, and they're both crying and upset about it, and you can see so much respect being gained. So much respect being gained for Julius here. Somebody who hated the shit out of Subaru, who belittled him and beat the crap out of him, who now is standing side by side with him, accomplishing all of this, protecting him, and then feeling sad. And he feels like he will, get karma for this one day, for ending Subaru's life. Because Phyllis, I think what she did is she did the same thing what she did to the merchant's body when he was a low-key witch cultist. She may have paralyzed his body from the inside out, and then Julius may have gotten he did get the last blow. So unfortunately this drove me to insanity, because I'm just like, okay, all of that to waste. But it depends where the save state is. All of this may not be to waste, all depending on where the save state is. If the next save state is actually after once the witch cultists, or after once they defeated the white whales, if that's where the next save state is, maybe it might not be so bad. Which I'm assuming that might be where it is, because it'd be a little stupid for him to redo everything, try and persuade all these rulers then to be on his side again, to get all the people to come together, to get Krush to be on his side in the system, and to go defeat the white whales all over again. It seems like it's doing too much, so maybe they might not do that, because if that's the case, we have 2 episodes left. The series ends in 2 episodes. It just seems like not enough may be done within to finish off the series, and we might get a season 2. I don't know. They might pull a Haiku, where Haiku season 3 is only gonna have 10 episodes. One of the shortest anime series out there, because I know some really short ones out there, like Fooly Cooly, 6 episodes. So I just say fuck it. It might be extremely short with another season 2, kind of like the Haiku route. Maybe like 5 episodes of season 2. I don't know. You guys don't know what you think though. We're gonna have to find out until next Sunday to find out where everything is headed. But that's what it's gonna be though, guys. Thank you again for watching. It means a lot to me. If you guys can like the video, subscribe if you already haven't. I'm gonna be out of here again. Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.